the show. My life and what I've sown. Next week, what's on the go? Let's hang and see what Mabel and Willow might do. Don't forget Mr. Christopher too. Subscribe, like, and share just to let me know you care.
Hi, I'm Stacey J and this is my studio. I'd like to say welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back to me. Welcome to anyone that's new who might have heard about me over the last month and has noticed I haven't done any vlogging. Welcome back to all those, and special thanks to those that have contacted me, if it's not via WhatsApp, via Instagram or via email, via Messenger, getting in touch with me to see how I am. So when I left last time, I said I was popping in and I had to pop out. Something had gone a little bit wrong and I needed to go and have some surgery. I did not say surgery at the time, but I thought I could skulk in and skulk out without going into full detail. I'm not embarrassed about the detail. I just was keeping it pretty much to myself and just to immediate family that knew that I was going to be not at home. So I'm going to tell you what happened, mainly because we've just done, in March, we did the sofa endo, and if you watched my endo one, I was part of the tour around, the vloggers tour around that talked about endo. I've had and lived with endo for most of my life. Since I hit puberty, I reckon. That's when it all sort of went pear-shaped. Hydrating. So as it came to it, of course, I'm of an age where I no longer require to have babies because I have 3 of them. Don't let them hear me say that they're babies. They're not. They're 2 19-year-olds and a 21-year-old, if you didn't know. All done through IVF, through many months and years of doing IVF. I managed to make the 3 of them. One was due to, anyway, long story short, happening, got 3 kids. So in the meantime, endo has been removed from my body. I had a Mirena put in to stop the endo pains happening. When I reached menopause, I was postmenopause before I even knew I was menopausal, and I reckon I was probably postmenopause about 6 years ago. So done and dusted without me even knowing I was going through it. However, long story short, endo never leaves you. A lot of people get told if you have a baby, you get rid of endo. I call. It doesn't happen. I had a blood clot. I had a growth on my right ovary. My right ovary was also broken down and my left ovary was attached to something. So all in all, I had a hysterectomy, a total hysterectomy, which was a walk in the park. Fantastic. Loved my my gynecologist, was a fantastic person. Such a cute, lovely lady. I shouldn't say cute, lovely lady. She's just such easy to work with. She's also my daughter's gynecologist, so I kept it in the family. So that was easy. That was on the 10th of April. So about a week and a half getting through that. So, and then you can go back to work or whatever. Still can't drive, things like that. But, there's hysterectomies are very common, although they are a major surgery. They are a common surgery. However, in the law of Stacey, we don't do anything normal. So, with one of the medications I had to take, it was an anti-inflammatory. It was to help all my innards obviously calm themselves down. And I have been on anti-inflammatories for my back. I have a bad back since I was 25. So many years I've been taking anti-inflammatories for my back. I seem to stop taking them because every time I took them, I would have more of a sore gut for a longer period of time than my back would be sore. So after 3 days of not being able to walk, I would tend to have those anti-inflammatories and then my gut would play up, etc. So I was avoiding them. Only they were part of the healing process with the hysterectomy. So I had the operation on the Friday. I was in hospital for 2 nights. Yay, private hospitals, so pretty. And came home on the Sunday morning afternoon. Come Monday morning, what had happened was, and unbeknownst to me, I had perforated my duodenum ulcer. So where your stomach is here, you get a little tube that then goes down to your intestines. That little tube there starts at, and it's called the duodenum something or other. Okay, I perforated it and had a 5mm hole in my stomach lining. So whatever went in my mouth came out of the hole and went into my body where it shouldn't be. So for 4 days, this is where my stubborn Gen X rub some dirt on it kind of thing happened. I thought I was just not getting over the hysterectomy. I just thought I was weak and was very angry at myself for not being able to suck it up and get over it. So I dealt with it for 3 days, and then the nurse rang me from my gynecologist nurse rang me, and she said, "Hey, go," and I said, I'm not good. So we went in there. My blood pressure was fine, my temperature was fine. Took an X-ray, and they could see that bowel motions were sort of sitting in me, and had that there. And she said, "Would you want to go and do a CT scan?" That's what my specialist said. And I said, no, where do I do that? And she said, "Just the hospital." I went, no, I'm good. This is what's wrong. I'll go home and we'll work on that. The pop I'd heard on the Monday morning, I didn't realise was a pop. Didn't realise what it was because I had no idea. And then thought everything was going good. On the Monday morning, on the Thursday morning, I woke up feeling way better. And then by lunchtime, I wasn't. Now, I then contacted my specialist, went into hospital. Well, she got me to go back down to hospital, did a CT scan, and they found that my body was leaking. And, well, my stomach was leaking into my body. So, emergency operation, and I am getting over it. So that was done on the 16th, so 10th, and then on the second operation on the 16th. I was in hospital for a week, and yeah. So my blood pressure went up to 153 over something or other, and then my pulse was sitting at 114. My blood test, CRP, which is your protein and protein something or others, was sitting at 430 when it's meant to be between 2 and 5. So a few things were saying things are wrong, and my temperature was whacking into 39. Don't know what that is in American temps, but it was hot. So yeah, so I turned around, ended up having surgery and yeah. So I am very, very slow getting over it. I did do a job on Monday and took the whole of Tuesday sitting on my bottom doing nothing to get over Monday. So, and it was only gone for 2.5 hours on the Monday. So it's been a really slow process. So like I said, thank you to everyone who has tried to get in touch with me and asked me where I am, why I am in. There are quite a few people that do know about this now that I have contacted, and yeah, getting there. I am. So what am I wearing today? I'm wearing my my Brodian glaze top that I made. I've made a couple of these now. There is substantial room in my top, and got my ripped jeans on. So yeah. So they managed to go through the keyhole surgery. I got like 5-6 holes on me, and my brother's calling me a piccolo because if I go in the wind I start making noises. That's how cheeky my brother is. Yeah. So what else have I been doing? I have been listening to a lot of audiobooks, and to stay awake while listening to audiobooks, I've been crocheting. So I only started learning to crochet in the last 3 years. I'm just going to make sure that I don't blow a... The best thing I like about crocheting versus knitting is that if you pull the loop, it just undoes and you don't lose it like a knitting does. So this is the... I'll actually try and find a picture. I'll put a picture of the cardigan that I'm making up. And this is the sleeve. No, that's not the sleeve. This is the sleeve here. Okay, and that's the top. So that's the sleeve. Okay, that's one side. I'm just making this bigger and longer. So I'm going down the front and around the bottom, down the front, around the bottom. I'm not taking it for granted that this is the weight I'll stay. I did have about 2 weeks without eating. So I have lost weight. Now this is the other side. See that they're totally different. There's no rhyme or reason. This one's actually inside out at the minute. But that's what I've been doing. I had one of them done, but I've worked on both of them while I've been resting on the couch. I have come in here a couple of times. When I was taken back into the hospital and the surgical team came and took over, my specialist, she came to me that night that they were putting me into surgery. She came and spoke to me, angry at herself for not pushing me towards getting a CT scan, which would have been the day before. But excuse me, let's pick this up before I and she actually stayed with me through the whole operation because it was no longer hers. It wasn't a gynecology operation, it was a surgical operation. So she stayed with me through the whole thing and contacted Chris straight after to let him know what had happened, what had gone down, because there was 2 ways to do it. Keyhole, if they couldn't find what was hole was, it was going to be top to toe, which unfortunately is very similar to what happened to my dad. So considering I was alone in the hospital when I found out, I was a little bit nervous, to say the least. So the next thing I've got is I've been in here working very slowly, half an hour at a time, an hour at a time, if that. I want to make a bag. Now I got in touch with Karina from Karina Songs. She makes the most beautiful bags. So if you don't watch her, I will have her in my link. Pop onto hers. She does a lot of hers in Norwegian because she is Norwegian, but she does have a lot of English ones. But she makes this bag from Noodlehead. I'm just going to get my bag so I can show you what I've picked. While I was in hospital, she's just recently made these gorgeous bags. I cannot think of the name of them. She's just made these gorgeous bags. I said, oh, what are they? Because I want to make one for my specialist. And she said, she showed me the name of them, and it was from Noodlehead. So I went online, and I might have bought 6 or 7 patterns. Because that's what I do. But I've decided I like the Oxbow Tote by Noodlehead, because I just wanted to make it. Now I didn't have the right size canvas strapping. I even made got Samuel to drive me to Pete's Emporium to see if they had any, but the color I wanted, they didn't have that right size. But this is what I've got so far. So this is what it's going to look like. That's my accented pocket, and there's the bottom. Okay, because the bottom's got a big thick thing in there. It's probably going to be too thick, and I'll probably curse it while I try to turn it in the right way, but I don't care. I've got my D-rings on because it also has a strap, but that's what it's going to look like. I love this fabric. This is one of my favorite fabrics. My specialist, she is English, and she's just so pretty, you know. She's just, yeah, and she's just such a lovely person. So I thought of her when I think of this, because I just think this is such an English rose. She's English as well. Such an English rose kind of fabric. She's just, yeah. Actually, when Mum came to visit me in the hospital on the day after the surgery, she was in there visiting me, checking up on me. This is how, like, out of her way she went. She saw me all but 2 days when I was in the hospital. She visited me all but 2 days. And the day she came in, because I wasn't 100% sure what they were surgerying me on, Mum was there when Gemma was there, and I asked Gemma to explain to Mum what exactly it was that had happened. So it was good. So that's the 2 things I've done. That's about it. I did have a lesson today. I am quite sore. I'm looking forward to the time I can go and in half an hour and go and take some more painkillers. But so crocheting, audiobooks, I've sewn this much of the bag. I've got the lining to do. And I had a client in today that was part of Monday's little session. So I'm going to go now because I'm feeling very something. I'm going to go sit down. I have somebody who is from Auckland. They're down here seeing their son who is having surgery. He's basically spent his life getting grommets, and he's just had another surgery. And so she's here at the minute, so she thought she'll pop out while she's here and see me. So she's coming today, I think. I think she's coming today. And yeah, so I'm going to go and sit down. I'm going to take my crocheting. I'm going to take my audiobook. I don't know if I told you guys, I bought a Kobo because, well, I was only going in for one surgery and it worked really well for that, but it worked even better when I was sort of stuck in hospital for a week. So it's such a cute little, it's like a, no, I'm not affiliated to these at all. These are my little people that I've got, lots of audios. The good thing about Kobo, it does audiobooks as well. You just need earbuds that you can Bluetooth, or you can do it on your phone because it's an app on your phone. And yeah, so that's been really, really helpful for me and my daughter, my gorgeous daughter. A happy Mother's Day for tomorrow, everybody. I'm going to try and spend some time with my mum. I don't know what I'm going to do because I can't drive, but definitely catch up with her. My children did Mother's Day with me last weekend because they're currently in Auckland for their father's 80th birthday. So I'm going to go. Stay well, stay warm, stay dry. It's a bit chilly and wet today. Keep cool, keep on sewing. Get out there, try and make something. If not, just start in little bits. I'm going to get back to my crocheting. Hopefully I've got a cardigan to wear not too distant future. No idea how to sew it together, like literal, no idea what I'm doing. I think it looks cool. I'm going to have a look through this book. My mother gave me this book the other day when she was over. That was before I went into hospital, so it must be March. That's because I keep making clothes for people with small people. So I'm going to have a look through that to see what there is. I found out that the pastor at the church that Samuel goes to, their daughter likes to take things off. So I might try and find little overalls that I can make that she can keep her clothes on. Kids do that. And the other thing that was in, I've just literally found this inside this album, this book, is a picture of my dad and my brother and I was 9. And that's me on my 10th birthday. There you go. And I know that because it's written on the back. Okay, so that's enough from me. Hydrate. Stay well, please. Oh, just the results from all that skin stuff I had to have on. The specialist said my skin's amazing. Oh, and this is so cool. I'm in the private hospital and the nurse is called Joanne. I spelt like my middle name too, with a hyphen and a capital A. And she said, I would have thought you, actually I'm not going to say that. She thought I was 10 years younger than I was. So I was pretty happy with that. Yeah, I don't tell anyone my age. So anyway, that's me. I think I'm rambling now. So I'm going to go. It's been, 18 minutes, 19 minutes. I like to say I'm back. I like to say I am. Get some things out there. I haven't made much and I'm really sorry for that. And I will catch up with you guys really, really soon. Feijoa season. So if you like feijoas, lots of feijoas. And that's me. I'm done. I've got to, I'll go. Take care. See ya. Bye.
Subscribe, like, and share, just to let me know that you care.